In my continuing pursuit to fill the void that impending empty nest is going to leave on a former stay-at-home dad like myself, and to save a little money, I ventured a little closer to home and visited the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Fall is beautiful in this park, but that's not when we're visiting. We're here in early spring, and we're going camping. There are 10 fairly large campgrounds throughout the Smokies, and with the popularity of this park, you're probably not going to make a last-minute camping trip here. For our trip, we chose Elkmont Campground. There seems to be a fair amount of space between each campsite, especially for a national park. The bathrooms were clean, but they don't have showers, so after a day of hiking, if you gotta get that stink off, guess you're gonna be in the river. But don't use soap, you're gonna cause an algae bloom, and we're all gonna blame you. We're gonna look at you and we're going to laugh. And laugh, and laugh. Moving on. The tent pads are big enough for 2 small tents or maybe 1 large tent. Or you can go my route and string up a hammock between 2 trees. But there is a lot to know before you start hammock camping, so let me know in the comments below if you'd like me to make a video about, getting started. So what are you going to do for fun in the Smokies? Well, there are 150 trails in the Smokies, ranging from easy to difficult and half-mile to, oh my gosh, we're in Maine. Technically, the Laurel Falls Trail is paved, but there were a lot of places where the gravel was eroded, so watch your step. I recommend using one of the many apps out there to find the trail that's just right for you. I tend to use all trails to find my hikes. The previews are helpful for seeing what you're up against, and you can download the map for the trail so you can see exactly where you're at. This has actually saved me a couple times. They are not a sponsor, but I'm open. The thing you're going to do a lot in the Smokies to see everything you want to see is drive. Thankfully, the drives are beautiful. So let me tell you about Clingman's Dome. I have made 3 attempts to see the 7 states that you can see from the top of Clingman's Dome, which is the tallest point in Tennessee. Would you like to see my first attempt? What of you? Want to see my second attempt? Astounding. My third attempt gives me an opportunity to tell you about the new parking permits. So if you're going to park anywhere in the Smokies, you're going to need a parking permit. You can acquire these permits at the Welcome Center. Also, the bigger parking lots seem to have vending machines for them as well, including the Sugarlands Visitor Center parking lot. But here's the thing, I thought this was to limit the number of people in the park. On my third attempt at Clingman's Dome, traffic was stopped 2 miles before the parking lot. So we just turned around and found this little gem of a trail. This is the Spruce Fir Nature Trail if you're looking for it. And it's beautiful for kind of the wrong reason. The fir tree that is native to this area is being decimated by an insect that's not. It gives it the feel that it's from some movie about wizards and magic and other stuff like that. It's short and easy too. It's flat and it's only about 0.4 miles. But stay on the wood plank. That's the challenge. In between Sugarland Visitor Center and Clingman's Dome, there is Chimney's Picnic Area. This is a great place for, a picnic with tons of tables available. It's also a fun place for the whole family to scramble over boulders. Even the teenagers had fun. So guess what we're going to do now? That's right, we're going to drive to our next destination. And about 30 minutes later, we arrive at the Sinks. You wouldn't know it to look at it, but this is a fun little historical spot. The river used to be in a little horseshoe bend here, but that wasn't working for the loggers of the late 19th century. So they decided to do the only logical thing. They blew up the river. This kind of activity is kind of frowned upon, especially considering you really got to find the sweet spot. You don't want to be there right after a rain when the water's running too fast, and you don't want it to be too long since the last rain. That will cause you to decelerate at a much faster rate, if you catch my drift. Our last hike was just a little more driving from the Sinks. The Spruce Flat Falls Trail, say that 5 times fast, is a moderate difficulty out and back 1.6 mile trail with an elevation gain of about 430 feet. And a lot of that is all at once trying to get back out of the falls. And a look at the Spruce Flat Falls, I can't do it. What I'm trying to say is this is where I'm going to leave you. So please like, subscribe, and come back next week as I have even more of the Smokies to show you. Especially if you like ruins and almost ruins and also not ruins. See you next time.